welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, quick reminder, I do have quite a few different workshops and learning opportunities available on my website, on my academy, k33academy.com/store. Go check it out if you'd like to learn how to work energy with a quick one-day workshop. Is actually not that quick, but with a one-day workshop, or if you'd like to make a longer term learning opportunity, you could join my membership. I teach every week. Or if you're ready to jump into the deep end, it's okay, you float. You can consider my certification program. So go to k33academy.com. You'll find all of that good stuff there. All right, guys. This right here. This right here. This is a Blu-ray update. Challenges designed to clear toxicity. Ooh. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. I don't feel it today, though. I can tell you that much. I don't feel the love today. I'm saying. Blu-rays, there's stuff going on. There's stuff, there's shifting. There are all sorts of different things that are directing you and redirecting you and taking you to the places within yourself that you kind of need to occupy right now. Right? Kind of like this, this guidance of maybe things normally come easy for you. Maybe you're not accustomed to the challenges that maybe other people face, right? Maybe you're accustomed to when you put your mind to something, you're able to make it happen, boom, 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 like that. And right now, there's no booming, there's no that. I think this is a personal reading for myself. If we're really going to be honest, just let me sip my recovery water. Hold on, let me look up. Does L-glutamine L-glutamine benefits for mood? Okay. According to the National Institutes of Health.gov, the increase in the glutamine-glutamate ratio favors excitatory activity, which may improve mood and cognition. Okay. From a psychological standpoint, it's also known as a calming amino acid since it's very effective at reducing anxiety as well as sugar and alcohol cravings. Damn, I feel called out. I mean, I don't crave alcohol, but I ate dried mango today. And I had 2 bags of it. Let me just drink my water. Okay. L-glutamine. Sorry, guys. I gotta laugh because this level of like WTF. All right. L-glutamine. Everybody needs some. Ooh, everybody needs some. I'm just saying. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. All right. No, I can't even celebrate that. That's not even funny to me. I would prefer to be the only one. I don't want you guys to feel the frustration that I'm feeling. Let me just laugh about it. Oh no, I'm not fasting, boo. She's like, fasting food sounds great. Yeah, no, I'm not fasting. It's my workout recovery, and then I added a scoop of L-glutamine to it. You know, I don't know. I was at some like all natural clinic, or I don't know if it's a store, or I think it's a store slash clinic where they do like herbal supplementations and things like that. It's a lovely place. Um, and then I happened to see a jar of L-glutamine from the brand that I love. I'm gonna go back to that store because they carry all the brands that I love. I wish I could tell you guys where it is, but I can't. I can't. I can't because remember, crazy people still trying to kill me. Okay, let's stop. Let's get serious. Challenges designed to clear toxicity. There's challenges that are happening here, Um, challenges are challenging. They're designed to challenge you, or else it wouldn't be called a challenge. The way you're receiving that challenge, the way you're perceiving it, might be what's challenging you the most. Might. All right. Did you want to pull from there? I will pull from here. And then I will pull from there too. Sorry. All right. Okay. Here goes, guys. I don't know if L-glutamine will mess up your fasting. I'm not sure. That would be really good to look into because, yes, it's an amino acid, but will it trigger digestive processes that will boot you out of your fasting state? I'm not sure, but I know you're very knowledgeable. Do you know if that would push you out of the fasting state? I know the powders that I use in my recovery drinks, um, they would not boot me out of ketosis. If I'd stop eating crap, I'd stay in ketosis. The mangoes booted me out of ketosis. Yeah. But I'm wondering because the brand that I use has no sugar. It has, I believe, no sugar alternatives, and it doesn't have corn or any of that. It's all just raw aminos. And then also the creatine. Okay, anyways, let's get started. Okay. Blu-rays. All right. Here's the thing, okay? So challenges designed to clear toxicity. There's a mindset that is really prevalent. It's like very I wouldn't say in your face. Maybe it's the part of you that's like forward because you have different aspects of your character, different aspects of your personality. And depending on the situation you're in, depending on the environment, depending on your programming, all these different factors, that's what's going to determine which aspect of your personality is going to be the dominant one. So, people who are people pleasers, that fawn response, right? Where you fawn over others, that's the part of your personality that is dominant in situations where you feel unsafe, right? So it's kind of like that. Right now, what you're being encouraged to do is the mindset that allows for, it's a mindset that allows for the part of you that can excel in the situation you're currently in. It's bringing that forward. It's bringing it out of you, and that's going to cause stability to re-enter into your space, into your experience. But it's kind of this thing where it's like the boundaries that you've kept yourself confined in, they're needing to be adjusted, Okay. There's definitely boundaries that are, um, there's definitely boundaries that are limiting you. Um, I love mangoes and blueberries. I had blueberries today too. I figured out a way because I'm supposed to be diabetic, but I know how to hack my diet. I figured out a way to be able to eat things like that, obviously in moderation, where it doesn't spike my insulin. Good stuff. um, so there's a lot of limitations that you've been allowing to kind of waft around you. And these limitations are what's causing you to feel very destabilized. It reminds me of one of my plants that I have in our kitchen. When I purchased it, it was about this tall. It wasn't very big. As the average size plant, it's a petunias, begonias. They're begonias, polka dot begonias. It's polka dot begonias that I bought from Whole Foods. It called to me, so I bought it. And, it's like the average height. And with that, it was in a tiny little pot. And I've had it for like a year at this point. And because of the way that I've amended the soil and given it the conditions that it loves, it's like it's literally longer than my arm at this point. It's I would say about the half my body. That's how long it's gotten. It's been growing up and up, and um, it's a beautiful thing to see. But even though I've changed it to a larger pot, because it's so tall now, uh, it's very destabilized, right? So it's this thing of making sure that your growth is appropriate. I don't know if that makes sense. If you just keep growing taller without anything to stabilize your base, then you're going to be very top heavy and it's going to be a lot easier to sway you and knock you over. What you need to do is make sure your roots go as deep as your height is reaching. This is about balanced growth. So, for many of us, because we're becoming very destabilized within our environment, within our circumstance, what we've been doing is really working on the upper chakras. We're working on the third eye, we're working on the throat, we're working on the crown, but we're not putting much effort in healing and expanding the root chakra. We're not putting much effort in healing and really stabilizing the sacral chakra. Is very, very difficult to find an individual who has not either been traumatized by family or traumatized by romantic connections. It is very, very, very rare to come across an individual without a decimated sacral and root chakra. It's very rare. Very rare. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so a lot of the programs that have been running through spiritual communities, um, you know, these communities originally came to be because people were looking for a way to begin their healing process. At one point, early on in the infancy of the spiritual movement, these communities were safe havens for people like us. And then the communities became infiltrated. They became very much run by ego, very much destabilized. And so now, um, a lot of what's happened is there's been such a huge emphasis on just continuing to grow up and up and up, just like my plant that's in the kitchen. That thing, if you look at it wrong, it's going to topple over. I had to put it in a larger, like decorative pot to hold the nursery pot that I put it in because that thing is just so tall. It's consistently destabilized. And so it's kind of like that, where if you just keep reaching upwards without addressing the human aspect of you, is not going to be good for you. It's just not. How many spiritual people have you come across that's proud to be a human being, that loves that they are being given the opportunity, the gift of having a human experience? Everyone only ever shares or brags about, the very advanced type things like, paranormal, metaphysical, like, being human isn't enough. It's absolutely enough. It's what you're working on in this lifetime. Why do you think you're in a human body? You are enough. Even as a very limited, flawed human, you're enough. You are enough. So, this is about allowing the challenges you face as a human being, having a human experience, being viewed by your higher levels of awareness, right? You're viewing these life circumstances from a higher level of awareness. It's almost this thing of needing to allow yourself to accept the challenges that are being presented to you as invitations to be more present in the human experience that you are having. We keep forgetting about the ways in which our ancestors have asked us to be present in the human form in order to make changes to the mitochondrial programs that we will gift to future generations. Everything you experience in this lifetime, just like your ancestors did before you, it will be gifting all who come from you. Whatever it is you're able to really, really allow yourself to take in, whether that's toxicity or profound realizations, profound healing opportunities. It's up to you. You have that kind of control, you have that type of authority, right? Like my kids, um, sometimes I have these conversations with them, or I listen to the conversations they have with each other. And it's often mind boggling to me how their chosen way of communication, they don't sound like kids. Um, like the subject matter is a child's subject matter, it's appropriate for their age, but the communication that comes forward, they're clearly not, you know, regular children. For example, my youngest was he cracks me up. My youngest was playing some video game. It's totally age appropriate, and he was getting frustrated because I think there was some task or something like that that he needed to complete, and he couldn't do it. And so he comes up to me. I was laying on the couch. He comes up to me and he goes, "Mommy, I need your hand." I was like, "For what?" I give him my hand. And I'm like, "For what?" And he goes, "I'm just really needing emotional support." I was like, "Oh, you're needing emotional support. What's going on?" This is very challenging. This game is just very challenging, and I'm needing emotional support right now. Okay, you want a hug? I mean, it tickled me to hear him say that. And then I was kind of like, joy, joy, because she's my emotional support animal. Like, girl, do your job. We need emotional support right now. He needed emotional support. It's this thing of like realizing, because no one in my family spoke like that. These were decisions I made for myself, and it carries through to my children by way of mitochondria, right? So, you know, you have that type of power, and it's time for you to begin recognizing how important you are. You have to begin really accepting that, because it is you that is going to change your local environment, whether it's just your family or your group of friends, whether it is, your city, your county. your state, your country, your continent. I mean, all you have to do is scale it up. That's all. I know I make it sound like it's easy because it is. Because it is. We make it harder than what it needs to be. It is that easy. When that's what you're made for, just being yourself gets the job done. Are you aware of that? Just being yourself gets the job done. And these live streams that I have, it is me just being myself. These are aspects of myself that people in real life, in person, they typically don't get to see these aspects of me. Why? Because I'm actually a very introverted person in real life. I'm actually very private in real life. I don't share my thoughts. I don't share my opinions. I don't share much of what I will share on live streams. I'm much more comfortable in a live stream to show you who I actually am, because the reality of it is I'm talking to myself in a room all by myself. That's the reality of my experience. Every time I live stream, that is the reality that I am in. And how profound has the effects been listening to me just kind of, for me, it's just me being my opinionated self, sharing my opinions, my views on whatever pops in my head. And that's kind of just that. To me, it's just my norm. So there's no elevation in value. But how has it affected you? Has it helped you to begin questioning things that you need to question? Has it helped you to begin realizing you are valid, the validity of your stance in an environment that doesn't give you permission to have a differing opinion from everyone else? Has it empowered you to see that someone outside of you thinks just like you? And this is me just being me. There's no ulterior motive. There is no like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. I need bullet points and we're going to touch on this and that. And you know, these are the end results that I'm wanting after this presentation. No, I'm not even a tarot reader. I just use the cards because let me tell you, my squirrel ass mind, the squirrel that runs in a wheel in my head had too much pre-workout and will just keep on going. And so the cards are used to bring me back, to reel me back in, to talk about the things that soul wants me to talk about. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth for any given live stream. Literally no idea. Yet the thing that someone needs to hear the most is the thing that comes out of me. Because soul knows what it's doing. Not just my soul, but yours as well. It brings you across my path when it's time for you to hear the things you need to hear, to reaffirm, to validate what it has been telling you. I'm nothing but an echo of your soul. Ooh, mm, mm, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's profound. That's very humbling. It's very honoring. That's a massive honor to be allowed to be an echo of the divinity that lives inside you. That's a massive honor. Mm. Ooh. mm. That leaves me feeling like, oh my God, I mean, am I able to do that? Am I enough? I mean, what if I say the wrong thing? That's me being human. That's my human parts being allowed to come forward. And in those questions, in that moment of like, oh my God, that's a huge deal. What if I'm not enough for that? Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Like, that's a huge deal to be given the honor of being a clarifying reverberation of your own internal divinity. Like, ooh. But in that consideration, that questioning, I'm also being gifted the opportunity to reaffirm for myself, if I wasn't enough, you wouldn't have been brought to me. And maybe at this point in my journey, I'm not yet enough for quite a few other people because there's billions of people in this world. And maybe at this point in my journey, I'm not yet enough for billions of other people, but I am enough for you. And I need to simply just be grateful that your soul has found mine worthy to assist you in that way. This is a beautiful part about being a human. You just saw me working through the challenge to clear out the toxicity, that toxic belief that still lives inside me, that maybe for certain things I'm not enough. The things I'm not enough for are the things that my life takes away from me. The same applies for you. So you don't ever have to worry about being enough. You still will, because that's in your nature. And in that worrying that you're not enough, you're being presented the opportunity to choose to rise even higher, to delve even deeper. And that as well is a gift. And this is how we change the world, through the exploration of our unrecognized potential. This is how we change the world. Mm, 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 mm. I love it. I love you guys so much. It's ridiculous how much I love you. It's ridiculous because it's like, what? But I do. I do. Because even if I've never met you in real life, even if we've never had a private conversation, you've always been enough for me. The fact that you're here tells me you're enough. It tells me that we're mirrors of each other. So, dedication. Allow yourself to dedicate yourself to the process that you're in. It's scary. It's challenging. For some, it will leave you with a sense of loss. What are you losing out on, though? What are you losing out on? Something that wasn't meant for you? Friendships end. Well, maybe that friendship wasn't meant for you. Relationships end. Well, maybe that relationship wasn't meant for you. Jobs end. Well, maybe that job wasn't meant for you. Maybe there's something so much more profound than the things you're settling for, that your life is willingly choosing to remove the very obstacles, the toxicity that prevents you from receiving what is rightfully for you. Life is beautiful in its poetry. Life is beautiful in its poetry. Hold on. Okay. Okay, hold on. Here. It's Love Sonnet 17 by Pablo Neruda. This is like my most favoriteest poem ever. Ever. He wrote this regarding his mistress. Let's toss out the romantic aspect of this. Okay. What if this poem, this love sonnet, is something written by your soul about you, the human you, the part of you that is human? So, close your eyes, and I'm going to read the poem, and allow yourself to receive the words as though your soul were speaking to you directly. Okay? I don't love you as if you were a rose of salt, topaz, or arrow of carnations that propagate fire. I love you as one loves certain dark things, secretly, between the shadow and the soul. I love you as a plant that doesn't bloom but carries the light of those flowers hidden within itself. And thanks to your love, the tide aroma that arose from the earth lives dimly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you directly without problems or pride. I love you like this because I don't know any other way to love, except in this form in which I am not, nor are you, so close that your hand upon my chest is mine, so close that your eyes close with my dreams. Mm. Mm. What if that was your soul speaking to you? How did that make you feel? That your soul loves you in that way where there is no rhyme, there is no reason. It simply just is because there is no other way. The emotional winter that lives inside you is gone. You're now being asked so, so deeply by soul to allow the snow to melt so that the water that comes from that can be the very water used for your garden. The time for growth is approaching. Your time to be immersed in the beauty of your growth, the beauty of what you're making your garden into, that is approaching. What will you grow? Even weeds, the things that are not aesthetically pleasing, have medicinal value. There is an unspoken value and purpose to all living things. And just because you don't know what the value is, does not negate the value that exists. It is intrinsic. Because it exists, it has that value. It cannot be diminished, it cannot be removed. That goes for all living things, from plants to fauna to you. I do not know the value that lives inside me, nor do I need to. I merely need to accept that there is a value seen by others that I should not and cannot hide away anymore. That value does not make me more important than others. It makes me more suitable for specific purposes so that I can assist in that way. Allow yourself to be witnessed. Witness doing what? I don't know. I don't know. Witness being yourself. Witnessed in your process. Allow yourself to be a mirror, because as we see ourselves existing externally as other people, we then find the courage to be more of the very things we've hidden away, because guess what? We're not alone. We're not so different. We're just like all the others. Do you know why our community is so profound? We are all reflections of our highest, most greatest purpose and power. A purpose and a power that most of us are still afraid to acknowledge. But when we see it in each other, we celebrate it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. This is the very reason why I am so protective of this space and our community. The number of viewers and clicks and whatnot is irrelevant to me. What is important is the sanctity of this space, the safety of the members of this space. Never be allowed to be less than what it needs to be. Why? Because all of you are living expressions of the parts of me that I have yet to reintroduce myself to. I see and I recognize that in each of you. And although I struggle to defend myself, I let people get away with a lot of crap. I do. But I won't with you. No, never. In the same way that I should never allow someone to be disrespectful to me, I would never allow them to be that to you. Not in my presence, even if I can't do that for myself as much as I need to. You are all living expressions of reflections of me. Reflections I'm still working on developing enough courage to explore within myself. That's why this space is so sacred. And the challenges that I face are designed to clear out the toxicity that lives inside me, that very toxicity that prevents me from being able to do this alone. I can do many things alone. Trust me. I can do many things alone, except this. This part, I cannot. Is it because I'm incompetent, incapable? No. It's because I'm still working on finding the courage to face those parts of me. So, in the beautiful poetry of life, I'm instead faced by the perfect mirror for every aspect of parts of me I have yet to reintroduce myself to. That's the space you hold within my journey in my heart. It is mutually beneficial. It is mutual love and respect. When was the last time you allowed this to be held true for your in real life environment? Because the growth that you all encourage to come out of me in live streams eventually gets applied to my in real life circumstance, my in real life learning, in real life existence, right? When was the last time you allowed this to be true for you as well? We're reflections of each other, remember. So these are the challenges that we're facing as individuals. These challenges should be seen for what they are. And what is that? Invitations. We are being invited by soul. Ooh. Okay. The Weaver in reverse. We're being called out first and foremost. Soul is telling us that we have not been actively, willingly, consciously choosing what we are creating. We've been allowing others to take control, to be in the driver's seat. We're allowing others, automations. Oh, Lord. We are allowing our divine process to become automated. You are not artificial intelligence. You are the real deal. Artificial intelligence has limitations. I'll tell you why. It's incapable of chaos. Yes, it's very capable of high level accelerated computations. It's capable of considering various factors and cofactors, potentialities, contingencies, all of those things. It can factor all of that very, very quickly, but it's incapable of chaos. Cosmos, that's true magic. It's incapable of that. Why? Well, because how do you computate that? You can't. You're capable of that. So you need to begin utilizing that, not being intentionally chaotic, but recognizing when your life becomes chaotic, you are being invited to step into the role of divinity itself, your own personal divinity. It's a divine process. When everything begins to crumble and seem just, woo, what in the world? You get all squeaky voice of what? Right? That's divinity, cosmos, inviting you to sit on your throne and begin consciously creating the opportunities that lead to the solutions that can be implemented. And as those solutions are implemented, you can begin exiting out of the spaces of toxicity and entering into the truth of your power and purpose. It's a beautiful process, but very challenging unless you're fully present and aware it's a process. You got to be present and aware. So, right now, we're passing through the underworld, the lowest spaces within the human consciousness, right? Look at that. The underworld and the Weaver, it's the same dang thing. You see that? You're no longer existing as a paradox. You're just not. You're not. Everything's being lined up because remember, look, even the hands are facing the same way. If you allow yourself to see the totality, to step back and be able to look at the totality, the bigger picture, rather than, oh, it's upside down and oh, I'm dropping things. Like, no, you're placing the unnecessary weight down intentionally. And then you add this in, the warrior. I mean, isn't that a sword? That's a sword, right? Part of the way you get through this is to put the weaponry down. You no longer need to fight this process. You don't have to fight it. This is not about you trying to win the battle against your fate. This is about you accepting the totality that you are, allowing the toxicity to be cleared away, either with a machete or with, maybe some gardening shears. It's up to you. Define fate. Fate is defined as a development of events beyond a person's control, regarded as determined by a supernatural power. Three goddesses who presided over the birth and life of humans, each person's destiny was thought of as a thread spun, measured, and cut by the three fates. Clotho. Okay. Be destined to happen, turn out, or act in a particular way. Okay. What else? Show me more. Show me more. Let's see. Okay. Late Middle English from Latin fato or later, from its source Latin fatum, from fari, speak. In tenebrous locks. In tenebrous locks. Fatum, that which has been spoken. So whatever it is you speak to yourself is what your fate will be. What you've spoken in the past is a causation that leads to the effects that you will live later. Careful what you speak into being. Careful of what your perception causes you to say out loud, right? Oh. Mm-hmm. What you speak out loud in darkness eventually comes to light. Tenebrous lux, the light in the darkness. It comes from you. You're entering into a space of master manifester. Careful what you manifest. People think manifestation is simply having to do with abundance. Abundance it's a multifaceted thing. It can be a positive manifestation, a negative manifestation is really up to you. Let's see. Yep. 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 And yep. Okay. Cosmic connection, worlds within worlds. There are things that are being allowed to come to fruition. The things hidden within you, the world within you is being allowed, invited to exit its prison and exist outside of you. This is what the cosmic connection is going to do. So there's a connection that's building. You have to be still in order to successfully gain clarity, to successfully gain clarity on what it is you need to gain clarity for. Marlene is talking. She hasn't spoken in quite a few weeks. Hey, girlfriend. What's wrong? This is weird. I'm like talking to her. I'm like, what's wrong? And she's over here like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's just trying. I'm sorry. She's like that. She says that she's talking to Michael. She's like, I'm sorry. Because she was whispering it. Did I say something rude and that's why you stopped talking for a while? You know, I have attitude struggles. You can talk if you want. It's okay. So, new chapter in reverse. You're not going to be starting a new chapter. This card keeps coming out in reverse, right? It's like whenever we think about starting a new chapter, it's almost this highly intellectualized attempt at abandoning the very thing that we're working on, the very thing that we are being tasked by soul to focus on. With my ADHD, the things that I need to do, I tend to not want to do unless it's like something that totally makes me geek out. If it doesn't make me geek out to that degree, most likely I would rather clean and color coordinate my closet print out little labels for bins. That kind of stuff, really, I love that kind of stuff. Then do the work that I need to do. I would, I would do that. Absolutely. It's definitely something I would do. But that's the thing, like, I can intellectualize that these things need to be done because we need to organize, but really, is there a need to organize, or is there a pressing need to avoid? What are you avoiding? Marlene says, listen. To me? I mean, are you talking to me? Marlene says, no, I'm telling to listen to you. It's something about avoidance. Avoidance. Someone is avoiding something. That's up to the person. Whoever it is that's avoiding, that's, eventually you're going to have to face what you need to face. Maybe you just need a little bit more time. Marlene says, don't make excuses. I'm really good at that, though. I'm really good at making excuses for people without them even asking me to. I am. I'm very good at that. Anyways, you need to have compassion for yourself. The process that you're in has been very, very difficult. You're reaching the end zone. You're almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. I am setting a good example. What are you talking about, village baby? I'm just saying, some people just need a little more time. I'm saying. Okay, so here's my logic, right? Village baby's totally calling me out. I'm not setting a good example with trying to give you guys some excuses as to why you can continue your avoidance patterns. That's okay. The way I see it, when your soul has had enough of you avoiding, it's just going to drop you on your butt, and then you have to get up. So, eventually everything gets done in the way your soul wants it to be done. Yep. There's no avoiding that. You can't trump the will of soul. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. For some people, you just got to be patient. You just got to be patient if you really want to feel that, right? I'm pretty sure soul wears a very large boot. If you want to feel that kick in the hiney, wiggle, 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 wiggle its toes, wiggle it in your sphincter. I'm saying you could. You could. See, look, Queen of Hearts is benefiting, you know? I'm just kind of tired of calling people out. I want to be I want to be your placator tonight. I want to tell you what you want to hear, baby boo. Yeah, enjoy it because this is very rare. It's rare. I usually call people out on their stuff left and right. Like, honey, what is this? I don't even want to, you know what? I don't want to share this deck because, ooh, ooh. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I'm going to show these cards. And when you guys go to watch the recording of this, you're probably going to have to watch the recording. I want you to pause for each set of cards that I will show you so that you can get messages directly from your soul. If your soul wants to call you out, I feel like that should be a personal, private thing tonight. So here's the first set. Mhm. Mhm. You see that? Right? Okay. Tell him, Marlene. Mhm. Mhm. Here's a second set. Mhm. No, I'm saying. Mhm. Yada da. Mhm. 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 Right. Oh. Mhm. 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 Mm. Mhm. Mhm. So. I know. I know. I know you know. I know you know. I know you know. Just let your soul talk to you on that one. Oh, Hannah, are you okay? Are you okay? Was it too much? Was it too much? Like crying, laughing? Please tell me you're crying, laughing. Okay. Okay. Don't scare me like that. Don't scare me like that. Oh my gosh. Okay. She's okay. She's okay. She's all right. Okay. 1, 2. Dang it. I knew it was a trick. I only wanted to do 2 cards. 2. Darn it. All right. Let's see what. It's all good. It's all good. Yep. It's all G-O-O-D good. Let me stop. No Bone Thugs and Harmony here. Okay, here we go. Card number 2, Moon, Soul. All things must come to the soul from its roots, from where it's planted. Ooh. Hold up. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. Okay. What does your gut say? The moon asks. This card is all about mystery, feeling, and hidden messages. I feel like I feel like you know what I feel like? Yo no soy marinero. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Para bailar la bamba. Para bailar la bamba se necesita y arriba y arriba. Ba ba bumba. You just I feel like someone's being called out like a mofo. And I feel like I'm being used to call you out. I'm saying. It governs intuition and self protection. The moon represents what is felt instinctively and what is at the core of our emotions. Is it me? Is it me? Am I at the core? Am I calling you out? It shows the intimate side of who we are. Mm. Ooh. The moon shows how we respond emotionally and what we feel most deeply. Mm. Some believe the moon represents who we are in secret. My moon is in Capricorn. Secretly, I'm as holish, but it's no longer so secret that I'm as holish at times. I just say it. I'm just saying. Anyways, allow yourself to shine. This card indicates fluctuations in your life. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days. The moon is Piscean. The moon. No, it's not. Okay. The moon is the side we keep concealed. At this time, you may have trouble controlling your emotions and may want to do things that are safe. You're very sensitive. And you must gauge any feelings before entering a room or being with people you don't know. Oh my God, I'm so being called out. You know what I did yesterday? So, yesterday, I went and I viewed a property, and the guy, the owner, was showing us a property, and then I initiated a conversation. I did not know it would go there. I made him cry. At which point I cried too. And then, to make it even more awkward, I then was like, now that we've cried together, I'm sorry. How? Well, I began speaking about soul work synergistics. And then he began talking about his nonprofit work. And he was talking about a program that he participates in. And the program is a 6-month intensive program that really teaches those who are members of marginalized communities and groups how to empower themselves, and they end up learning how to do resumes and approach companies in order to create financial stability for themselves. And I just thought it was lovely. And I said, I want my organization to eventually do all of that as well. I would love to volunteer for his organization. And he got very, very emotional about just the other day. It was a graduation, the 6-month graduation for some of the people. And he was just so far moved at the way their lives have changed. At which point I shared, yes, if you can encourage and empower an individual to commit to a 6-month intensive program, there is no way they are returning to that space of being marginalized. You are changing their lives. You are gifting them a future. Then he got teary-eyed. And I got teary-eyed. And then I said he was a beautiful person. Because I must speak truth. Yeah, so he cried. And I cried. And I was like, your shower is amazing. Your shower is amazing. It's a 2-person shower. It's the entire wall with a bench in the center. So there's a shower here and a shower there and a bench in the center. And I said, my husband and I could totally shower together and sit on the bench and have our meetings. Now that I think about it. That could have been taken a whole different way. I was thinking about actually meetings where he sits facing his side, I sit facing my side, and we just like chat about, so what's our plan for today? Yes, plants in the shower. There are certain ferns that love moisture. But yeah, no, we passed. We passed on the house. We passed. Ah, but not before I made him cry, because that's what I do. I make people cry. Anyways, when this card turns up in a reading, all is not as it seems because something is being obscured. You may feel you've lost your direction or that you don't have all of the information to go forward. Or maybe you're hiding it from yourself. Maybe that's what this is really about. You hiding things from yourself, hiding the reality of what it is you need to face and the things that you need to face. It doesn't feel like it's a negative thing, it feels like it's a scary thing. It feels like a scary thing. Scary, why? Scary because it forces you to see just how powerful, valuable, and needed you are by society, by people you don't know. And then it brings us back to square one. That fear of not being enough for the very task that you were custom built to fulfill. You don't even have to try. You just have to be present. All right. There's much you are sensing, but you may be hesitant to act. It may look as if it is difficult to cut through the fog to get to the real truth of any situation. Here's the thing, that fog is created by you, though. It's created by you. So blow it away. Blow it away by speaking your empowerment into being. Substance issues may touch your life, not true necessarily, but certain energies or persons surrounding you. I think for some people, it's you. I think for some people, you're struggling with the use of self-medication. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a weak person. It makes it clear that your soul is asking you to address the thing you're trying to numb out. Okay. I have very specific views on addiction struggles. I don't feel like you are a broken person. I don't feel like you are an issue. I feel like you are a highly sensitive gift to humanity who was not given the opportunity to bond with at least one person in your life, one person who could make you feel safe enough to not have to medicate the pain of feeling so alone in a world that's being gifted by your presence. The most highly gifted often have addictive personalities. Are you aware of that? You were never the problem. The problem was you were born into an environment that couldn't understand the gravity of your presence. That's the problem, not you. It was never you. And because you were conditioned to believe you're the problem for people who have a problem, you then began to create a problem for yourself. Stop the cycle. There are those who are now capable of seeing you exactly as you are, not as a broken person, but as a gift to the environment you were born into. No, I'm not saying this as someone who has had addiction to substances. And no, I've never had an addiction to I mean, unless my vitamins, I take quite a few vitamins daily. No, I've never had an addiction to substances because I was aware that if I allowed myself, I would go very deep into it. Even as a teen, I was aware. Yeah. I was over drinking when I was 20. I didn't even hit 21 yet. I was over drinking. I was just like, no, y'all, this is nasty. It is so nasty to me. Um, does that mean I don't have an addictive personality? Yes, I do. I become very hyper fixated in the things that fascinate me. Sometimes it's a process, sometimes it's physical objects, Sometimes it's people. Mhm. I'm very, very, very lucky to have been so far neglected as a child. That's the most greatest gift I received in childhood. Why? I didn't have an adult with issues present enough to gift me their issues. And so the clarity that I was born possessing was minimally distorted. Everything that's happened to you has happened for you. So there's been no need for me to medicate that pain. That pain, it exists for all who are hypersensitive. If you are of a higher frequency, you will be of a higher level of sensitivity. The two go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot have one without the other. And just because society does not understand that does not mean you are the problem. It means you have done what you needed to do to survive the issues of others, issues that have been projected upon you. And at some point, you're going to have to make a decision to no longer continue to carry those issues within you as though they belong to you. Because they don't. They don't. They're not yours. Would it help me if you took my thyroid supplements? No. So why do you keep taking the numbing medications that someone else needs? It doesn't help them. It doesn't help you. It becomes something that creates pain and amplifies it for everyone involved. But I still assert you are not the issue, nor is the person who projected this upon you. There is an issue, but it is not a person. The issue is in the distorted perception of the circumstance you are being gifted to elevate your understanding and your capacity to tap into your potentiality. Trauma-induced accretion. That is the process by which pathways are regularly dilated open in order to prevent them from atrophying to the degree that you cannot use those energetic pathways to access your abilities you need in this life. If you let yourself take a step back and see the things as they are, not as you are told, not as you are being distorted to feel, you'll have very, very good clarity as to why life has gone the way it has and that it's been working in your favor this entire time. Even though it's sucked, that's fine. It's okay. You get through it. I absolutely mean that. You'll get through it. You've gone through everything else. But Emmy, no, not but Emmy. You've gone through everything else, and you're not going to have the opportunity to convince me that you are less than what I know you to be. Bottom line. That's the bottom line. That's why people feel primarily very safe with me. I see you for what you are, and there's nothing you're going to do that's going to change the way I see you because I see the real truth of you. I don't see the distortions. I don't see the disgrace. I don't see any of that. I see you, and what I see is beautiful. Not because I don't have the courage to see what you've been through, but because I absolutely have the courage to see exactly how life has hurt you. And I have the audacity to not share the same really effed up perception of you that everyone else you've come across has. I have the audacity to disagree with you. Yeah, I don't care what you're trying to convince me of yourself. I see the truth of you. You will not change my mind because I'm stubborn AF. Good luck. For some, it works in your favor. For others, give up. You're not going to change my mind. All right. Mhm. It's important now not to accept any false pictures or misapprehend the truth. Like with the Neptune card, the Moon card, deception is possible. I think it's you deceiving yourself about the gravity of you, the truth of who you are, the gift that you are. Someone from your past is about to re enter your life. An important meeting for you may occur in the evening hours. Pay close attention to the energies that swirl around. It's a good time to rely upon your gut. Is it me? Are you going to meet me? Am I going to re enter your life? If I do, get ready for the whirlwind, the tornado. Be ready. Don't say I didn't warn you. Feeling extra ballsy today. Okay, the next card, Cancer, I feel, card number 16. Your feelings are your God. The soul is your temple. Okay. Okay. Cancer is a sign of the mother, and those ruled by Cancer tend to be overprotective of their offspring, which means they also like to control and take over. Okay. I have Cancer in a prominent placement in my chart. That needs to be recalibrated. Stop it. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Yes. I try my best to not be overly involved in the decision making process of all my children, regardless of their age. I like to try my hardest to give them the opportunity to consider all the different options without me saying things to affect their decision making process. So you can be assured emotions are high. You may want to withdraw, or you may be dealing with someone who is withdrawn or depressed. You got to let go of the past. If you're depressed, it has to do with your clinging to the past and your disappointment over things that have happened in the past. You cannot change the past, but you can definitely exercise the power to continue reliving the past in the present. That's called depression. I say this as someone who has suffered through clinical depression several times. It's not fun. No one chooses that. But when you can be aware of how your internal process gives you no options but to live through that, you can begin making the changes. I haven't been in a depressive episode, a clinically depressed episode, for quite a few years. Quite a few years. So there is sensitivity and emotional closeness indicated. If your question is about love, it may be a secret or involve bonded souls. This card can also mean that family or domestic issues need to be addressed. It has to do with women's issues and how women get along. Okay. Women, men, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you need to just let people deal with whatever they're dealing with, because your continued attempts to rectify things that are not for you to rectify sometimes will be the very thing that enables a continuation of that toxicity. Hmm. Card has to do with witches and their powers. As long as their powers are being used to self heal themselves, that's not an issue. The moment it becomes something where powers are being used to modify other people's options and organic processes, that's absolutely an issue. Absolutely an issue. So don't let people do that to you, okay? I do have a black magic revocation workshop coming up. And that's a really good way to reclaim your power and not allow other people's magical blah, 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 to unnecessarily affect your life. And let me tell you, if you think you're going to do some magical thing that you've seen on TikTok, most of those things is not going to help you. Most of those things will not help you. There's some ritual thing that I often see people making videos of, where they take two candles and then they wrap a twine around it, and then they light the candles, and the twine's supposed to burn, and it's going to cut the cord. No, no. That's not what it does. All it does is show you who is leeching energy off the other one. They're not going to cut the cord. It's not going to, it's not. So be careful. Okay. Card number 40, water element sensing. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Oh, see, I'm calling out USD. Village baby, you did this. You did this. I wanted to be everyone's enabler tonight, but you insisted that everyone needs to be called out. If we can just hashtag thank you, village baby. Because now everyone's getting called out because village baby said that we needed to be called out. Not my fault. He made a request to creation and creation answered. Mm-hmm. What does this mean? What are these letters? What are these letters? I'm over 40. I'm not cool anymore. I don't know what these letters are short for. I'm in my mid 40s, village baby. What are these letters? Ooh. Okay, let's leave village baby alone. Jesus loves him. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves him. Oh, yes, he does. Someone feed the baby. The baby needs some milk. Someone feed the baby. Okay, well, let's stop messing with village baby. We love you, baby. You are our village baby. That's why his name is Village Baby. He's our baby. He's our community baby. Habibi. He is our Habibi. All right. Anyways. Anywho, card number 40. Water element sensing. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Let matters flow. Okay. We get carried away on water. We have feelings of floating or being adrift over water. Yeah, for some of us, we think we're going to go ahead and, just kind of float along. Yep. Village baby put a big ass rock on you, and so now you're going to sink to the bottom. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Okay, when this card presents itself in a spread, you can trust what you feel is the best course to follow. So you're already being very much guided by your soul, but you're just, kind of ignoring it a little bit or a little bit. What you're sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just that what you're sensing is correct. I mean, you're feeling what you need to do. You just don't want to do it. You're afraid to do it. It's one of those things. Just be honest with yourself about where you're at, and then it shouldn't be an issue. But when you're not honest with yourself and you're trying to pretend that you are, village baby's going to have you hold a boulder. You're going to sink to the bottom. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Right now, it's best to go with the flow, to trust the movement. Although these changes may seem gentle and gradual, you trust the movement, okay? Sometimes a water element card indicates a need to withdraw and fight another day. So you got to stop fighting your higher self. Village baby is doing you a favor by all of this. It's time to gather resources and gain strength before moving ahead. This can at times indicate trusting too soon or the passive acceptance of other people's shortcomings when you shouldn't accept them. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have the tendency to want to allow things to pass you by without fighting for them, to let go of something that is rightfully yours. Whoa. Okay, so, whew. Oh, Lord. Lord, have mercy. You're going to have to fight for something. I don't know what, but you're going to have to fight for something. Ooh. You have the ability to quiet your conscious mind and allow yourself to be taken over by an idea or a dream. So there is an idea being planted within your head by your soul. And this idea is needing to be allowed to come to fruition. This can mean so many different things for so many different people. Let's see. It's also the ability to keep a secret or to work alone in privacy. It's probably best to now allow people or circumstances to not pin you down or hem you in. So there's something that you're already trying to do, but there are people in your environment that are trying to prevent it. Don't listen to them. They're hoes. I'm joking. Maybe they are. I don't know. Silly hoes. I don't know. Maybe they're clownish. Maybe they're like, why keep you speaking of hoes, let me respond. Hey, boo, why you message me boom, 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 one after the other? I'm live right now speaking about hoes. And next thing you know, I see you poking around my messenger. Are you being a hoe? Don't be a hoe. For real. What's up? You good? You okay? Bang, bang, boo. That's my homie. We haven't chatted for a while. Ah, gosh, Jesus, Mary, Joseph. I'm sorry, you're not a hoe. I was totally joking. I don't know if you're in a good space or bad space. I shouldn't call you a hoe with no context and not knowing if you're doing okay. I hope you're okay. I really do. I hope you're okay. I'll try and message you later, but I have a squirrel brain, so we'll see how that goes. Love you, boo. Just- I don't know. I think he's going through something. Shit. I think he's going through something. I don't know. I suddenly felt that like, oh, this is the wrong time to joke around. Okay, carrying forward. Forrest, if you're watching, I'm very sorry. I'm inappropriate most days. So sorry. Okay. All right. Card number 34. Carrying along. Here we go. Card number 34, 10th house, the world. Let me mute my 10th house, the world. The desire for fame tempts even noble minds. Ooh. Okay. Fame and the world at large. This is an ambitious card. It's about owning the world and being on top of the world. It is the ultimate card to have for when you need to be confident in what you are doing and to go for what you want and nothing less. Yo, sprinkle, sprinkle. um, Creation itself is blessing whatever it is you're going to try and do. Creation itself is like sprinkle, sprinkle. It's sprinkling it. Okay, because the 10th house is a house of Capricorn. It indicates you're about to put forth a diligent and concentrated effort. Go all the way, push it all the way through. Okay. People will discuss what you're doing, what you have started or about to make. Let them. Let them talk about whatever. They're going to talk about you anyways. Let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. How about hoes? Hoes. I mean, let them be silly hoes. Who cares? Let them talk for real. Ooh, you may be contacted by the media. Become recognized, or at least you will see your efforts in some public forum. Ooh, I would love that. Not for Emmy Evolving, but for Soulwork Synergistics. I'm telling you, it's time. The matter in hand may have something to do with governments. Nope. Nope, absolutely not. traveling to other lands or encountering foreigners, or it could just mean your ambitions are about to gain momentum. Yes. Yes, this is me pulling it in. Yes, yes. Layers of illusion will be removed, your essential self disclosed. Yes. This could be in relation to the public or a possible love interest. No, not so much that. If a love interest, they could be older or more established, or they will work along beside you in meeting your goals. I mean, I'm saying if you guys want to fall in love with me, that's okay, as long as you know we're just coworkers. I'm saying, don't hurt your feelings. I'm saying, I'm married, in case you didn't know. I'm married. I've been married for a long time. That's not going to change. I'm just saying, okay? If this card comes up, it can sometimes mean playing along with the status quo to get ahead. No, don't do that. Be quiet on your dissent. That could be the way you play along. I don't think you should compromise your integrity by playing along and pretending you're good with something if you're not good with it. Okay? There's a way to go about making things happen, and that's not the way to do it. To pretend that you're something you're not, or that you have a mindset, perception, opinion that you don't, that's not the way to do it. Okay? I want to always make sure that your integrity remains intact, because at the end of the day, that's your get out of jail card. Not even joking. Your integrity is your get out of jail card. Okay? Cherish that, protect it always. Okay. Ooh, since it symbolizes the world, it also represents the earth. So, working the land or acquiring land is something that may come into play and can therefore denote growth, crops, plants, farmers, and farming. Ah! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because that could mean the sanctuary. I'm saying that's I'm taking it as that. In essence, this is a primary card of fame and infamy, your legacy, and what you'll become known for. It's the house of success and failure. Nope, nothing about failure. Failure is nothing but an invitation to try again and try harder. Let me say it again. Failure is nothing but an invitation to try again and try harder. You want to say it again? I'll say it again. Failure is nothing but an invitation to try again and try harder. I'm reading this out loud for us. He says, I'm a hoe, but actually, I think I'm all in love and shit. So my hoe days may be over. Sorry for pew pewing ya. My Scorpio coming out missing ya. It's been way too long. I'm finally growing up and stepping in my, I think, power. See, I have Scorpio friends. I have Scorpio friends. At least he's being honest. He's a reformed hoe. I'm just saying. Ooh, I gotta tell him that I read his message out loud. Hey ho, I'm so sorry. I read your message out loud while I was still live, but only up until the part of you're finally growing, because that's where it truncated. But I'm so glad that you're honest with yourself about being a reformed hoe. Love you. Bye. Okay. Truth and honesty will decide this matter. The universe is supporting you now. Yep. Be truthful, be honest. You know what I'm saying? Be truthful and honest about where you're at, where you want to be. And I think things are going to play out beautifully. The toxicity is like going away. It should go away. Toxicity is a hoe. Final card. Final card. Final card. I think most of Scorpios are learning to grow. Scorpios are just very intense signs. They're capable of tremendous growth, but they're also capable of tremendous stubbornness. I think for the most part, like with most signs. I get along with most Scorpios very, very intensely. Get along with Scorpios unless they're unhinged. That applies for all the signs, though. Anyone unhinged, am not the one. But I could be if you try hard enough. The one for what? The one to teach you your freaking place in life. So try with someone else, not with me. All right. But yeah, I mean, anyone that's toxic, I'm not compatible with toxicity. I'm not compatible with two-facedness. I'm not compatible with lack of integrity. I'm not compatible with toxic people pleasers. What I mean by that is people pleasers, because I'm a people pleaser too, but I'm not a toxic people pleaser. I won't say everything you want to hear. Because if I'm just going to keep saying everything you want to hear to appease you and make you feel good, that makes me a liar if it's not the truth. Right? So, yeah, I don't vibe well with liars. I just don't. I don't. I vibe very well with people who can just honor sovereignty. You know, you could be you, I could be me. We could commingle and have different opinions, different stances. It's fine. We don't have to agree. Card number 34, Layla. Put aside your clever schemes, O lover, be mindless, become mad, dive into the heart of the flame, become fearless, be like a moth. That's a lot of instruction. Turn away from the self and tear down the house, then come and dwell in the house of love. Be a lover, live with lovers. Clean your chest from all hostility. Wash it 7 times. Then fill it with the wine of love. Be a chalice for love. Be a chalice. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. When going to the gathering of drunks, be a drunk, become drunk. Your thought takes a course, dragging you in its wake. Move beyond thought. Let your heart lead. Be the leader. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. When the beloved's hair is loosened, brush it like a comb. Be a comb, run your fingers through it. How I long for my thoughts to no longer make any sense to me. Then I can be rid of them like noisy house guests who have overstayed their welcome. Oh, the peace when they finally go. Their incessant chatter brings me no comfort. I crave the silence of you. Ooh, that's deep. To crave the silence of someone. To be so cosmically connected that words are unnecessary. Will you let me hear it? Will you run through the house of my mind with your great muddy feet so that I can focus on something other than my mind for a while? Maybe you can make a mess that I shall give up my plans and attempts at order completely. Just give in for a change. It's time for that. To give up my ridiculous fantasies of perfection. Useless, noisy, irritating, demanding, and yet deadening perfection. I'd rather just be alive. I want to plant my head in the earth, in the same mud that sticks to your feet, and breathe in her rich soil smell. I want to feel her heart beating in the quiet movements of the roots of the plants as they stretch and grab, and stop my ears with her fertile dirt. Finally gaining peace from the constant infernal racket of thoughts no longer wanted. Beloved, how you are to be envied. You are being the gift of no self, no noise, no sense. The great beloved truly wants you to be closer than ever to the wild universal heart. In that field of love, every electronic device goes haywire, systems collapse, worlds collide, and great stars are born from the chaos. But the real you will sense none of this. You'll be staring at your beloved, so intoxicated by love. Your tongue will loll out your mouth and you'll drool like a bloodhound, and you won't you won't care a hoot, neither will the great beloved. Such will the passion of your reunion be that the only thing to matter will be the one great love exploding inside your being. So who cares if you have no idea what day it is? What was your job supposed to be again? Or how to make conversation, let alone intelligent conversation at the dinner table? Well, you shall not be yourself anymore. You shall not be so appropriate or sociable. It's too late. I'm already that. It's too late. Okay. Who understands crazy words that fall out of your mouth unchecked by logic or rationality? I do. I know the beloved too. I'm under the same loving spell. I, like you, have no I anymore. I, like you, am so crazy with love that I care not for things making sense anymore. I, like you, long for my night of love with the great beloved that ends me forever and renders me only and ever the lover of the beloved. I call that night forward from my love crazed heart, as do you. The night of destiny. Let us run together and pound on the bedroom door of the great beloved. There is no shame. There is nothing else worth holding on to. Let us go now and throw ourselves upon the goodwill of the Creator. Our hair shall be messy and mingle with a curving galaxy, and the planets shall grow rings around them, becoming the many eyes of the great beloved, delightfully bearing witness to our loving, passionate surrender. This oracle brings you a message. You're moving through a period of not knowing. You're moving through a period of not knowing, of time in the great void or womb of the Divine Mother. It is in this place a seed can crack open and take root. This cannot happen in the light where all is seen and recognized. It must happen under the cover of darkness, where only trust can assure one of success. This is the way of nature, the way of life, and it must be honored. This oracle brings you ancient wisdom. It guides you not to fear the darkness, but to enter into it willingly. It is not for you to become lost, but to find your way. This oracle is saying that in the darkness there is the path, the tariki tariquat. Do not turn away from it. Let it be. Be with a lack of knowing. When people ask of you so many questions and demand sensible answers to support their notion of reality, do not bow to such unworthiness and fear. These people who demand answers from you, logical answers, when you're in the process that defies logic, because you have been existing in the heart of divinity. Divinity cannot be explained by logic. It cannot be explained by logic. By definition, divinity, creator, God, is the everything, the nothing, and the spaces in between. That is illogical. It is illogical for a finite, very limited mind to be able to comprehend something so profound. They will never understand the decisions you make, the lack of logic that you currently have. But boy, oh boy, where you're at right now is exactly where you need to be, making the decisions you need to make. Know that their minds may be fearful for your safety and their own, lest your divine madness be contagious, but that their fear is nothing to you, nothing at all. It's not even anything to them, but they just don't know it yet. Under the sacred black cloak of night, the Divine Mother, the goddess who transfigures from darkness into light, has invited you into her chamber. From that place, you shall experience annihilation, but only that of which is untrue, that of which would hold you back, dampen your spirit, or prevent you from bursting into full aliveness. For that which is true is already seated deep in her womb and is preparing to be born strong and with good, powerful legs. So when it's time, it will leap like a wild creature, all instinct and intuition into the morning light. For this moment, however, there is darkness, and that is essential for the appearance, so imminent, beloved, of the light on its way. What makes light appear brighter? the proximity of darkness, the process that you're in, your proximity to that all-encompassing, devouring darkness is merely a process of recalibrating your perception of your light. This oracle brings you guidance if you find yourself to be sad, to be grieving, whether you know for what or not, or even depressed or struggling, feeling as though you're being pulled down. Do not fight. Bear witness instead. Allow what's taking place to take place. Allow what is happening to happen. You shall find a joy in allowing the interplay of darkness and the light to take place according to a greater unfolding rhythm of your own divine growth process. You're being given direct instruction from soul. I'm being told to read the second to last line. The great beloved truly wants you to be closer than ever to the wild universal heart. So something wants you to come close. It wants you to come near. It wants you. This is something worthy of you. This is something that goes against everything you've ever experienced. It goes against logic. It goes against the protocol for your human safety. You know, the ways in which you protect yourself and your heart by never allowing anything close enough to hurt you, because heaven forbid you take a chance on yourself and experience the most profound thing you could possibly ever experience in this life. When I ask myself, what is a moment where I've been the most afraid I have ever been in my life? When I'm about to give birth, when I feel the contractions begin. Because in that moment, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I will be enough. I don't know if I will succeed. I don't know if I can get through this process in the safest way possible. I don't know. There are so many unknowns. Yet every time I've been asked by my soul to become a mother, to be reborn as a different woman, because every time you go through labor and delivery, you become a completely different woman. You don't just birth a new life. You don't just bring to fruition a baby. You birth yourself. And every time my soul has asked me to be a mother once again, there's been fear involved, tremendous fear. And every time I get through it, maybe the fear just makes you feel more present. Maybe that fear is an indication that something important is about to take place. So pay attention, because really, when you feel afraid, you become hypervigilant for most people, unless you're the type of person that then shuts down. If you're one of those people that shuts down, try being extra present in the face of fear and see what kind of gifts that experience brings you. Challenges designed to clear toxicity. That's exactly what we're in right now. We're all facing challenges that are designed to clear the toxicity from our lives. And it's up to you if you want to clear it, or if you want to continue to live in the way you've been living, a way in which you have felt less than, you have felt passed up, you have felt ignored, disregarded, all these negative things, right? I mean, I feel like you are worthy of so much more than that, but it's not my place to convince you of the truth. It's your place to either accept the truth or reject it, because you carry that type of power and I will never take that from you. So what will you choose? The truth or the lie that you are not enough? I think you've chosen the lie far too many times already. Why don't you try the truth for once? That maybe, just maybe, you're more than enough. And that it's time to let go of the fears that have kept you confined in the small spaces that you have long outgrown. It's been years. That's the reality of it. It's been years. You outgrew that space a long time ago. I think it's time to exit out of that space. and enter into the next part of your life. And that next part requires nothing of you but to be yourself and to allow others to witness you being yourself. It takes no effort to be you. It takes tremendous effort to hold on to the parts of you that you think are not enough, to hold on to the beliefs and all of these other things that you've been holding on to, keeping you confined. It literally takes no effort to be you. So be you. And see your life unfold. See the goodness return. See the life come back to your eyes every time you look in the mirror. See the way you glow. See the way people respond to your glow. I think that's one of the most beautiful gifts you could ever give yourself. To allow your environment to truly see who you are. And as they see who you are, to believe them when they tell you what they see is beautiful. I still struggle through that as well. But it's a struggle worth continuing, at least until I get to the other side of it. And as I get to the other side, my deepest hope is that you meet me there. So let's get working. Let's do it. Let's do it. I gotta go because I gotta go. That's why. Up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. I'll be live in the morning, and then I'll also be live in the evening doing expedites that I couldn't do today because Demon Horitas. I didn't want to deal with them. Yes. Tomorrow. I shall see you tomorrow. I hope you have an amazing time between now and then. Believe in yourself, at least as deeply as I believe in you. Tremendous things will happen for you if you can, if you choose to. Good night, guys. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.